You paid nothing for it. You downloaded it in seconds, agreed to something you didn't read, and started scrolling. No credit card, no receipt, no price tag anywhere on the screen. So why does it feel like it's costing you something? Think about the apps you use most, the ones you open before you're even fully awake, the ones you check in line, in bed, in the bathroom, in the middle of a conversation you should be paying attention to. You never paid a cent for any of them, and yet somehow they are the most expensive things you own. That sounds impossible. Free is free. If money never leaves your account, where's the cost? Here's the part almost nobody stops to consider. When you can't find the price of a product, it usually means you are not the customer. You are the product. And the thing being sold isn't the app at all. It's you. Let's slow down and look at what's really happening. A company builds an app. It costs enormous amounts of money to design, to run, to maintain, to keep alive on servers around the world. Engineers get paid. Data centers hum around the clock. None of that is free for the company, so the money has to come from somewhere. If it isn't coming out of your pocket directly, it's coming out of something else you own. And the most valuable thing you own that you never think to protect is your attention. Your attention is finite. You get a fixed number of waking hours each day, and every one of those hours is a slice of your life you will never get back. Advertisers understand this better than you do. They know that a human eyeball pointed at a screen for one more second is worth real money. So the entire business is built around one simple goal: keep you looking. The longer you look, the more ads you see. The more ads you see, the more the company earns. Your time on the app is not a side effect. It is the product. This is where it stops being an accident and starts being engineering. These apps are not designed to be useful. They are designed to be hard to put down. There is a difference, and it matters enormously. Consider the infinite scroll, that endless feed that never reaches a bottom. It was invented by a designer named Asa Raskin, and he has since spent years publicly regretting it. He has said that infinite scroll may have cost humanity hundreds of thousands of collective lifetimes in wasted attention. Think about what that design choice removes. It removes the natural stopping point. A book has a last page. A television episode ends. But the feed never ends, so your brain never receives the little signal that says, you are done here, you can go now. You just keep going. Why does that work so well on you? Because of something much older than any app. In the 1950s, a psychologist named B.F. Skinner ran experiments with rats and pigeons and levers. He discovered that if you reward an animal every single time it presses a lever, it presses at a steady, bored pace. But if you reward it randomly, sometimes yes, sometimes nothing, the animal presses the lever compulsively, far more often, almost desperately. He called this a variable ratio reinforcement schedule. It is the single most powerful way to drive repeated behavior that scientists have ever found. And it is exactly how a slot machine works. Now think about pulling down to refresh your feed. Sometimes there's something great waiting. Sometimes there's nothing. You never know which. That uncertainty is not a flaw in the design. That uncertainty is the design. Your thumb is pulling a lever, and the app is the slot machine, and the jackpot is a hit of novelty your brain has been chasing since it lived on a savanna. Every time you get a like, a comment, a notification, your brain releases a small amount of dopamine. Dopamine is often misunderstood as the pleasure chemical, but researchers like Robert Sapolsky have shown it's really the anticipation chemical. It spikes not when you get the reward, but when you might get it. The maybe is the drug. And these apps are built to keep you living inside the maybe, refreshing, checking, waiting, hoping. So you're not lazy. You're not weak. You're a perfectly normal human being running very old software against a machine that was specifically built to exploit it. Billions of dollars and thousands of the smartest engineers on Earth have been aimed directly at the weakest points of your willpower. That's not a fair fight. It was never meant to be. But let's get back to the money, because this is where the true price finally becomes visible. Every second you spend inside a free app, you are generating data. Not just the obvious things you type, everything. How long you paused on a photo, what you scrolled past quickly, the time of day you feel lonely enough to open the app, what you searched for and then deleted, where you were standing when you did it. This data is collected, packaged, and sold, or used to predict your behavior so precisely that companies can sell the ability to change your mind. The scholar Shoshana Zuboff gave this a name. She called it surveillance capitalism. Her core idea is that these companies don't just want to know what you do, they want to predict what you'll do next, and eventually to nudge you toward doing it. Your future behavior becomes a product traded in markets you'll never see. You are not the one buying. You are the thing being bid on. Does that sound too dramatic? Then look at the numbers. The largest of these companies earn most of their money from advertising. That advertising is only valuable because it is targeted. And it can only be targeted because of the data harvested from people who believed they were using something free. The entire empire is built on the gap between what you think you're getting and what you're actually giving away. Here's the counterintuitive truth at the heart of all this. Paying money for a product is often the cheapest way to buy it. When you pay, the transaction is clean. You hand over cash, you get the thing, and the company's goal is simply to make a product good enough that you'll pay again. Your interests and theirs are roughly aligned. But when the product is free, the company's real customer is somebody else, an advertiser, a data broker, a political campaign. And their goal is no longer to serve you. Their goal is to keep you, to study you, and to sell access to your attention and your choices to the highest bidder. Free flips the entire relationship against you. Think about what that means for the most valuable resource you have: time. The average person now spends several hours a day inside these apps. Multiply that across a year, across a decade, across a life. Economists have a concept called opportunity cost, the value of the thing you gave up to do what you're doing instead. Every hour in the feed is an hour not spent learning something, building something, resting properly, or simply being present with a person who loves you. That is the real invoice. It just never arrives in the mail. And notice how carefully the price has been hidden from you. There is no moment where the app says, "This session cost you 47 minutes and a detailed map of your insecurities." The cost is designed to be invisible because a cost you can't see is a cost you won't fight. If your bank charged you every time you opened an app, you would ration it instantly. But because the currency is attention and data instead of dollars, you spend it without flinching. So what do you actually do with this? You don't have to throw your phone in a lake. That's not the lesson. The lesson is to see the machine clearly, because a trap you can see is a trap you can step around. Start by asking a simple question about anything that's free. If I'm not paying, who is? And what are they buying? That single question rearranges how the whole digital world looks. It turns you from the product back into a person making a choice. You can turn off the notifications that were engineered to interrupt you. You can move the most engineered apps off your home screen, so opening them takes a deliberate act instead of a reflex. You can decide before you pick up your phone what you actually came to do, so the feed can't decide for you. None of this is about willpower. It's about changing the terms of a fight that was rigged against you. Small changes to the environment beat large amounts of self-control every single time. The researchers who study habits will tell you the same thing. Design your surroundings, and your behavior follows. Because here's what it all comes down to. The most expensive things in your life are rarely the ones with the biggest price tags. They're the ones that quietly drain the resource you can never earn back. And your attention, your time, the direction of your own mind, those are worth more than anything a company could ever charge you for. You paid nothing for it. And that, it turns out, was the most expensive deal you ever made.